Chica.
Wow. Wow.
Hey.
Wow. And there you have it, guys. That's how you start the live. Right there. We are. We sound good? We sound good? We sound good? With the big dog barking. We're live. We're here. It's Friday. We usually go Thursdays. We had some stuff we had to do yesterday. We are going to be here for the next 45 to an hour. So, be ready. Get excited. Put your music on me. Put your earphones on. Put it on the TV. Put it on your phone. Whatever the situation. Listen, share this live. Share this live. I'm telling you, it's going to be a good one tonight. I didn't say what we're talking about. So I'm leaving you. So I'm leaving you in the dark. Today, in the dark. Well, guess what? That's how we do it. We roll, we go. And, yeah. So, eventually we're going to get situated. We'll get some stuff that we need to get situated. My wife can have her own mic that she can talk in. We're getting it. Slowly getting it. We're slowly getting it. Slowly getting it. So bear with us. But we are excited to be here tonight. I don't know how many viewers we're going to have tonight. Listen, before we go on, good luck to our Lady Bulldogs and our Bulldogs baseball team and softball team playing tonight. Round 2, the girls lost last night. They are playing Ganado right now. And I will tell you what's going on over there at that game right now. Oh, it's barely starting. It is barely starting right now. So good luck to our Lady Bulldogs. Our boys play at 7 o'clock. So, yeah. There you go, Mello. What's going on, Mello? What's going on?
Mellow.
And then our boys play at 7. So good luck to both of those teams. We were going to try to make the boys game tonight, but we are going to be traveling in the morning. We have to go to Belton, so we are going to be out. We'll be rooting from here, but we wanted to get this in tonight. We wanted to get this live in tonight because every week we try to have Talk with Tina and Andy. You know, when I thought about the name, I was like, Talk with Andy and Tina? Talk with Tina and Andy. What sounds better? I don't know. That's why I said Talk with Tina and Andy. Shout out to my boy Josh Ramos for sending me the Stanley. Yeah, buddy.
I have a Stanley too, my best friend.
We did a swap. He sent me a Stanley and I sent him some Vaquero seasoning. Come on, somebody. Shout out to Logan and his wife for coming up with that Vaquero seasoning. We enjoy Vaquero seasoning. Our favorite seasoning. What is your favorite seasoning from Vaquero?
Tuesday.
This is a plug for Vaquero seasoning.
Tuesday night.
Tuesday night is her favorite, and I've got to admit, Tuesday night seasoning from Vaquero seasoning is
They're all
the
good.
best.
but
Yeah,
my
they're
favorite-
they're good.
My favorite is
I'm gonna
Tuesday.
tag them on here because we're talking about it. Okay, if I know how to, there you go. Vaquero seasoning in the house. Well, not in the house, but we were talking about Vaquero seasoning. So yeah, our family loves Vaquero seasoning. Shout out to Logan and his wife
Yeah.
for coming up with that. And hopefully my buddy will do a review here later on to see what his thought is on the Vaquero seasoning. But tonight, it's not about Vaquero seasoning. That might not be a bad idea to have Logan on here one day for Vaquero seasoning.
Yeah.
Talk with Tina and Andy. Come on, somebody.
That would be great.
Hey, we'll think about doing that, Logan. We could even go to you. Anyway, tonight, Talk with Tina and Andy. Listen, we're gonna get into it real deep, real personal. We're not gonna cry, but we're gonna have some exciting time just talking about our topic tonight. And our topic tonight is reactions. Reactions. Look at her reactions. Reactions say everything on our face. How we react with our face, how we react with our mouth, right? How we react with our body language. It's a lot. It says a lot.
It does.
Yeah.
And I try to not react with my face, but boom, there it is.
Okay, now I'm gonna start off with you. Well, duh, you're the only one.
Hello, anybody else here?
We spend a lot of time together. What is my facial reaction that you can say is probably the most consistent? Facial
Your
reaction.
facial reaction?
Don't say what it is, but just my facial reaction. What is my facial reaction to I don't know, maybe just whatever. It's just consistent. Like I do it quite often. Really.
Yeah.
Show the people, show the people. Oh, okay.
That's
There
yours.
you go.
That's yours. I mean, it could be with when we're doing something, or we're eating food, or somebody walks by, or something happens, you're just up. That's just
Mello said, Chris, when he blinks hard, come on, that's a reaction, right?
Yeah.
Because you react,
mhm.
right? So my reaction is, she already said, what my reaction is pretty consistent.
But my favorite is when you get surprised or like scared. That's my all-time favorite because your eyeballs just you get real big, and you just have to see it. It's just a really great reaction.
Okay, yeah. So when I was thinking about reactions, one of the biggest things that we as individuals do is we react to things very quickly. And I say that because I want you to understand that. And when I say things, I'm talking about um, things that happen in our life. Maybe somebody said something about you. You don't know if it's true, but you heard it. Maybe something has happened. Obviously, if something tragic has happened, there's going to be a quick reaction, right?
Mhm.
There's going to be some crying or some yelling or some kind of reaction that's going to be given. What are you doing?
That's my other stuff.
Oh. Some kind of reaction that you're going to be given when something takes place, right? Just like just a while ago when we first started this, I was so excited to have music on, to come on live, and all of a sudden there was a reaction from our dog. She started barking
Mm-hmm.
because I got loud. So our reactions say a lot about us. You know, what can, how can we better ourselves by not reacting too quickly?
Well, what I've learned in my life, because I was one to react on a dime, like you looked at me wrong, I was reacting. You said something about me, I reacted to it. You, whatever. But what I've learned now that I'm older is that I have learned not to listen to it. I have learned to, it is what it is. If they want to come talk to me or say something or whatever happens, I just don't react in that form. Of course, if something happens where I'm surprised or I'm happy, or sad, I'll cry. But I've just learned not to give anybody a reaction because that helps me help them not end up in the hospital. I'm just playing. That helps me better myself because if I reacted to everything that I hear, everything that I see, I am not going to be in a good place. So I literally just don't listen and I just brush it off because I don't have time for that.
And sometimes those things, because we don't react, sometimes it can take a toll on us if we continue to kind of like
It's like a
push
repetition.
it off to the side, and especially if it's the same thing over and over and over. Eventually, you're going to get to a point where you um, you kind of like reach that limit, and when you reach that limit, you kind of go off. Sometimes I put Visine in Chris's drink so he can go. Yeah, that's a reaction right there. That's a quick reaction.
That's a good idea.
That's a quick reaction. What's up, Jessica? What's up, Anna? What's up, Miss Angie? Listen, we're talking about reactions tonight. We're talking about our facial reactions, or maybe our verbal reactions, how react our body language, and that's what we're talking about tonight. Because how can and the question was, how can we better ourselves by not reacting too quickly to something that he was, whether it was said or something that's done, because we can choose to react on a dime.
Oh, like no doubt, especially when it comes to my grandbabies
Yeah.
or my kids or you, I will definitely react to defend them in any way that I can. And sometimes that might not come out good. But I mean, I have learned to hold myself back.
And one of the biggest things that you people have to understand is that when you react wrong, you're still going to have to fix that stuff.
And I don't want to feel stupid.
If you react wrong.
Yeah.
And I say reacting wrong because sometimes we react in a way that we shouldn't have. We should have waited. We should have just kept our mouth shut, or we should have just let it continue to just let it brush it off.
Well, I mean, and you've taught me too, because I can have diarrhea of the mouth, and especially if I'm in a situation where somebody says something about you or about to my kids or whatever, I was quick to pop off on anybody and I was quick to react. But my husband has taught me to not worry about what other people think, not worry about what other people say. Um, and he has helped me in that area a whole lot. He probably didn't even know that, but he has. And and now that I'm older and like we have a younger kid, we have adult kids now, but you know, sometimes there's still times where I have to be like, just don't listen, just don't pay attention, just do what you got to do and try not to react, because if you react in a bad way and then they call the police and then you get in trouble and then you're going to be sitting in a cell thinking about what happened and what you could have did different. I don't want to end up there, so I don't react. I will sit and talk. Now if somebody reacts on me, then that's a totally different story. Of course I'm going to defend myself, but I just literally don't listen to nonsense. I just in that form of reacting. Now, reacting happy, reacting sad, I mean that's just normal. That's just, life. Getting scared, but when it comes to people, talking about you or saying things about you that that are not true, and I just literally there's no time. I don't have any time to put things on Facebook and blast somebody on Facebook for what? For what? It makes no sense to me.
One of the things that I try to teach my family and I live by is that if somebody is talking about you, and I say, and we're just talking about in general, if somebody is talking about you, eventually they're going to get to a point where that's going to backfire on them. Because eventually they're gonna run into somebody that knows you, and that person's either gonna shut them up or they're gonna continue to talk. The other thing why when I say that is that even the people that are around, if somebody's talking about you, if they haven't said nothing, that's a problem for me. Like if you're considered my friend and somebody's talking about me in front of you and you haven't said nothing, you need to question that, because I'm going to question it. If somebody's talking about and you're dear to me or you're a friend or whatever, I'm going to question that individual. I'm going to say, hey, you need to just chill out. You don't know the whole story. The other thing is, when I say reactions, I'm not going to react immediately until I know what the truth is. Because 9 times out of 10, when it gets to you, it's not what was said.
It's a totally different story.
Totally different story.
Yeah.
So that's why I say it's important to, when you react to something, you got to take some time and let's hear it. Let's figure it out before we blow up. Because when you blow up, things get crazy.
Yes.
Things get blown out of proportion. You react in a way that you shouldn't have reacted, and ultimately, my goal is always to try to make the right decision, because we have our children looking at us.
Yes.
Because even though our children are older, our children still look at everything that we do. I mean, that's just the bottom line. We're the parents. Children are going to look at you now when they're younger, and even as they get older. I still look at my parents, and I have guidance from my parents, because those are my parents. And so we have to be careful how we react. And when I say that, are you the person that's going to sit there and react in the right way? Or are you the person that is causing the person to react wrong.
Yeah. See, me,
You know?
and my thing, if anybody has anything to say about me and they blast me on Facebook or any social media, to me, that's that's immature. That's I don't got time for junior high games. If you want to come talk to me woman to woman, you know where I am. All you gotta do. I'm not gonna get mad and start fighting and this and that unless you give me a reason to. But I'm gonna sit and talk to you. Look, y'all, I'm 50 years old. I don't got time to be rolling around in the ground. My bones hurt. So you want to sit and talk? Let's sit and talk. You want to know something about me? You want to know something about my family that you heard? If you want to know if it's true, just because you're chismosa, then come and ask me. Like
Or
I
chismoso.
or chismoso. I don't have
She's
I
not saying
not just girls, but like guys or girls, whatever. I don't have time to just mess with mess.
But
It's just
you know,
not.
and those are and some people will say the opposite. Some people will say that they do want to react in a way that they feel that they need to
Yeah,
react to
I mean,
defend
that's
themselves.
that's
And
that's
everybody is different. I'm not saying
that's
don't
them.
react. You're going to react how you feel. You're going to react how you were raised. All those things and what transpires in your life. It all goes back to your upbringing.
Yeah.
And so, even as we speak today, there's some reactions that people are going to give off of here, and there's some people that are not going to find this even remotely interesting because their belief is their belief, and I'm not trying to change your belief. All I'm
Yeah.
trying to say is take a step back. Let's look before we open our mouths, and let's figure it out. Because eventually, if you reacted wrong, you're going to have to go
Yeah.
back and fix that
I mean,
situation.
and there's already too much mess in this world to be
Yeah.
arguing about petty things, or talking about petty. It's just,
Ultimately,
you
our
know,
our goal on here every time that we get on here is to try to spread the positiveness. Now,
yeah.
now, honestly, listen. Not everybody's going to agree with what we say. Not everybody's going to like what we say. Not everybody even agrees with our life. They don't. There's people still that are negative, and not only to us, but they're just negative people. They don't see nothing positive in life.
Mm-mm.
Those individuals are the challenges that I see in my life, that I want to have something positive in their life. And I will still say hi. I'll still do everything to help them. But there's always going to be people that are not always going to be happy with everything that you do. And that's okay.
And that's
People
okay.
have their own way of thinking. They
And
have
we
their own
might
way.
think that
And that's all right.
we might think, the same. We might be like, what, we're happy with our lives, and you know, this is the way that we believe, this is the way that we think, and that's okay too. I mean, it's like, can't we just like all get along? Can't
And
we
we're not,
just,
and I'm not saying our
you know,
our what we say is always
no,
the right thing to do.
no.
This is just
this is our
this is something
opinion.
from our point of view and our opinion and how we have helped. It's helped ourselves in
Mhm.
our lives. And ultimately that's the ultimate goal here is to encourage and to help other people go through real life situations, real life scenarios, real life problems. And this is how we see it. You got to take a step back and you got to look at the bigger things in life. Is it worth even going to question that individual that's talking about you? Is it worth even putting your hands on that individual? Those are the things that you have to understand. What's up, Ms. Dina? What's up, Rudy and Brenda? Um, and that's what we're talking about. We're talking about reactions tonight, and sometimes even on Facebook, this past week there was a lot of bashing and a lot of things being said on social media about local people, and I'm like, guys, you have your opinion, and that's fine. It's social
Yeah.
media is open to anybody to say whatever,
Yeah.
but at the same time, you have to understand that those individuals are working hard to what they have to do in their lives, whether they've had a past or not. They've moved on from the past. Whatever your opinion is about that person, then that's fine. That's your opinion, but understand they're not going to stop just because you're trying to throw their name in the dirt. They have
Mhm.
validity of what they do in their lives, and they have
Yeah.
people. They're going to have people that support them. They're going to have people that don't support them. And so when I saw that this week, man, I was like, I was kind of hurt because I'm like, my God, we do live in a world full of hate and full
Full
of
of hate
just
and
anger
just
and full of envy and jealousy and those things you have to understand. It's written in the Bible that you'll begin to see those things in the latter days of our lives of this world, and so you begin to look at those things and you're like, my God, is this what's going on? And it's just reality.
I just
We
feel
live
like,
in a world where it's just there's a lot of negativity.
yeah.
There's a lot of competing and a lot of wanting to put each other down to make themselves feel better. and you know we need to help one another.
I just feel, and this is my opinion, you can agree with it or not, but I feel like Facebook bashing or any kind of social media bashing and doing screenshot that is just so childish. That is, you have a problem with that person and you want to warn people about how a person is, call them on the phone. Like, just because I've been there before when people have bashed me on Facebook, it's not fun because nobody knows what I go through in my personal life. Nobody knows the struggles and the challenges that I deal with unless I sit here and tell you. And bashing somebody, you know, there's just there's just no need for it. And that's, and you might think otherwise, and that's fine, and that's your opinion, but this is my opinion. I just think that it's just not worth it. You want to tell somebody not to go to a certain person or do go to a certain person, call them on the phone. Write them a letter. There's no reason to bash. I mean, it hurts.
And again, we're talking about reactions.
it's
That's
not
what we're
nice.
talking about. We're not talking about so much bashing, but that's part of a reaction.
Well, yeah, it's part of a reaction.
It's part of a reaction. What are you going to do when people begin to down you all the time or not confide in you or whatever the situation may be? What is your reaction going to be? Is it going to be to get crazy and to get loud and start blasting, or is it to be silent and say, you know what? Let's figure out the truth. Let's figure out why this is going on. And this is what I say. If I have offended somebody and that person is talking about me, man, let's figure out where it went wrong. Let's figure out what did I do something not knowing to this person, or what's going on? My reaction is, hey, let's get to the bottom of it. Even when, as husband and wife, if there's something that I've done to my wife, I'll say, hey, why are you mad? Like, what's going on? Well, it's not you. It's just something that I'm going through. Okay, well, then I need to know those things so that I don't think it's me, so that we can continue to go on. Ultimately, life is about having fun. It's about living life. And that's what we got to learn how to do. Sometimes we get so caught up in all of the Facebook drama and all of the likings, and this person hangs with this person and this other person, and then our reactions are like, well, I don't care no more, and I don't say, and and then you're just like a totally different person, and we're like, what is going on? And so that's why I want to try, I want you to understand that your reactions, people see that. Yes, it's very heartbreaking. And even that in our own communities as well. It's I grew up in this community, and I'm thankful to bring my kids.
I agree with that.
To bring
awesome.
my kids here.
Yes.
And again, Rudy or Brenda, whoever it is that's commenting, you have to understand that even with that, with so much going on in this community, we can't change everybody.
No.
You gotta focus on you and continue to move forward, and that's just the bottom line. I love everybody that I see in this community. I'm going to say hi to, whether I agree with their agenda of what's going on in their life, or whether I agree with who they voted for, all that stuff. That stuff doesn't even bother me. I'm still going to say hi to you, whatever race you are, whatever ethnicity you are, whatever party you vote for, whatever church you go to, whatever barrio you live in, whether you live at Churchill Acres, or you live on the other side of the tracks, or you live here on our hill right here, I'm still going to say hi to you. That's just it. And that's how we have to be, man. We can't allow the titles. We can't allow the people that we know are to change us. We can't, there's a quote that I always like to see, that I always like to read, and I read it quite often. Be the change
that you wish to see
that you wish to see in this world. And that's just the bottom line. And we have to be that change to help one another, to help this community. We're not always going to be here. Our children, our grandchildren are going to be the ones left after we go. We don't know how much time we have here. That's why for us, this was important for us to even express ourselves during this time, during this live, because at some point in time, somebody's going to need this to be encouraged. And that's why we do this. I don't do this for money or notoriety or trying to say, oh, Andy and Tina are doing. No. We do this to help people. And again, it may not be for everybody, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But what we say, we want to encourage people. We want people to feel like, there is somebody else going through that situation. They have been through some stuff.
Yeah.
And we're not perfect. We do go through everyday situations, and we're going to continue to see situations in our lives and battle every single day. But ultimately, we have to be the change that we want to see in this world. If we want to see happiness, then be happy. If you want to see smiles, then smile. If we want to have more courteous people and manners, then let's be courteous ourselves, right? When we open the door for people, I'm not trying to look at a woman. I'm trying to be courteous. Nowadays, that's, I said that in church one time. I went to go open a door for somebody, and the lady just looked at me. I'm like, "You're not going to go in?" She's like, "No, I'm not going to go in. You're not going to look at me." I'm like, "I wasn't trying to look at you. I was being courteous." So guess what? I closed the door behind me. And now what was meant to be a courteous manner now became rude.
You can't do it.
What
Yeah.
was my reaction? Right?
Yeah.
What I should have done is I should have said, "Sorry that you think that way. Have a great day." But I didn't.
Yeah.
I became angry because I'm like, why would that person think that I would be looking at her? I have a fine specimen right here to look at every single day. Listen,
So funny.
reactions,
Yeah.
our body language. Body language is huge.
No, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, if something happens and my adrenaline's rushing, and say my daughter Justina calls me, "Mom, I need you." Like one time she called me, she's like, "Mom, I need you now." 12 o'clock midnight, I got up and I said, "What's going on? What happened? What are we doing?" I mean, in the heat of the moment, you can do something stupid.
But
mean,
again,
that's just,
listen. She said something there, and I'm going to interject here, not to say that she's wrong, but she called her mom first. Why did she call Why didn't she call her dad first? Right? Because it's and children know, right? And it has nothing to do with anything superior, one or the other.
No.
But when they need prayer, who do they call? Exactly. When they want to fight, who do they call? Not that they're gonna fight. I'm just kind of throwing it out there.
I'm
right?
just saying. I mean, things happen. No, I'm just playing.
Sometimes people, again, our reactions with our mouth, people can think, "Oh man, that person can really throw." In reality, people that talk a lot don't really want to throw. They just want to.
They hide behind the screen.
Well, they
And
hide
they
behind
say-
their just mouths in general. Period. And so our body language is huge.
Yeah.
Our body language, how we react, even when we show up to a place of a business, our body language is everything. We live in a small town, so we try our best to go to every restaurant as much as we can, just because we feel like we need to do our part to go to all the restaurants as much as possible to at least give them business, right? Just like the same thing they do to us with
Yeah.
with TR Nutrition.
Yeah.
We want to do the same thing, and our body language is huge. Me and my wife, we always say, "Well, what are we eating tonight?" And we'll say something. Somebody will say this, and I was like, "I don't feel like eating that. No, I don't want to go Mexican again." Or, "Really, we're gonna go back there?" Like it's immediate. Like our body language is in. But when you want something, man, that body language, you don't even ask.
Yeah.
Like I already know when
I
she
know.
wants shrimp tacos. She don't ask me. She just says, "We're going to Lucio's."
He already knows.
And the crazy thing is, I looked up the other day and I was trying to look up Lucio's. I'm like, why does it say Lucio Molina on my phone? Because the restaurant's not called
It's called
Lucio's.
Live Oak.
It's called Live Oak Restaurant. And my family calls it Adelitas. Those of you that are local know what we're talking about, right? But yeah, our body language is huge, man.
It
We
is.
could burn a hole through somebody just with our body language, just with how we react,
Yeah.
And sometimes we're not always in a good mood. And sometimes our attitude and our moods and our jetas, right? That's just our facial features. In Spanish, I always say that, like, my
Well,
mom
like,
used to
'cause-
always say, like, la jeta, like, just like
And
your
then, like, there's
facial
times
features.
where he'll say, "Well, we're not going to go because of your jetas." And I'm like, "What? This is my normal face." And he's like, "No, I know that face. We're just going to stay home."
Yeah, because
But
I'm
I
not,
mean,
I'm not gonna.
sometimes I
And
just
let me say
don't
this.
want to.
Let me say this. And you're right. And you have every right to be that way because you're not perfect. I'm not perfect. We're
Right.
gonna have days we're gonna have be hit through that and all that, right? But one of the things you have to understand is that I'm not gonna put you in a situation if immediately that I said whatever I said to put you in a mood, you're in a mood. I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna take you somewhere else and make it worse. Because somebody else may not be in a good mood either. And then you're not in a good mood or whatever. Something said, you're looked at wrong. You're already walking in negative because of your uh, long face. And then, like, well, what's wrong with you? You know?
Yeah.
So,
No,
yeah,
and
body.
so yeah, I mean,
What's going on, Dr. Tanya?
we stay
What's up,
home.
Raul? Sorry, Richard, I didn't say hi to you, man. But yeah, and we're talking about reactions. We're talking about our facial features. We're talking about just how we react to things that are said about us, how we react to things, and that's positive or negative. Are we the person that are reacting in the right way or the wrong way, and how can we better ourselves to react in the way that we should? We know what we should do
Yeah,
in any situation
yeah.
because we know right from wrong, but we don't do it because at the heat of the moment there's something, whether they made you mad or you had a bad day, whatever the situation is, you're going to continue, you're going to react to that.
Yeah.
And that's the bottom line.
I mean, everybody's allowed to have a bad day, an off week, or whatever. But you know, I try to just not. I try not to be negative because there's just so much negativity.
What's up,
Oh my
Miss
gosh,
Linda Means?
it's just so bad, and you know, we gotta try to spread a little bit of happiness. We gotta, try to be, encourage some people, people that watch or that I see during the day or that my husband comes encounters with and stuff like that. So I mean, we gotta try to do some good, and by us being on here talking about things like this that are personal, that everyday life. I mean, it's not nothing fake. We go through it too. I mean, there's days where, his reaction, he didn't have to say nothing, and I'm thinking, did I do something wrong to him? What did I say to him to make him mad? Did somebody call him, tell him something that I did? Did I do anything? Like, and all these things start running through my mind, but it's just, he wakes up like that sometimes.
And that's our reactions.
And that's your reaction.
That's our
to
human
it.
reactions.
Yeah.
So we gotta learn how to keep those reactions in check. We gotta learn how to be a little bit more open, and I say open, not to just go off the cuff immediately.
Yeah.
Take a step back. Take a step back and just examine
and look at the
things
big picture.
and look at the big picture.
Yeah.
Like, is it worth opening my mouth?
I am
at
not.
some point in time. Sometimes you may say, yeah, it is worth.
Sometimes you have to. In some situations, kind of like with our friend Andrew, what he did with that little girl, he saved her. This guy was trying to steal her at a he was out of the state, or he was somewhere.
No, he was in Midland.
Oh, he was in Midland, and he was at a Love's, and he heard a little girl screaming, and this guy went in to the restroom and took her from the mom, and she's like, "You're not my dad," and he had to react to save that little girl's life because it's human. He was trying to traffic her, and so he reacted. Sometimes you have to react in certain situations like that.
But there's ways of still reacting.
I mean,
in a manner that's still going to show that you can talk civil.
Absolutely.
And not act.
This is my saying. You can say whatever you want in this whole entire world. You can say whatever you want. It's how you say it and how you present it. People walk in my shop, I'll be like, "Hey, what's going on, guys? What can I get for y'all today? What are y'all doing this weekend? How y'all been? What's going on? This and that." Or I could say, "Hey, what do y'all want? Like, you're here again." I mean, and I could say whatever it is that I want. It's how it's how I present it to whoever I'm saying it to.
Because the reaction is going to come from how it was presented.
Exactly. And people are like, "Dang, what's wrong with you? Why are you acting so rude?" And that's not who you are. You know what I'm saying?
And 9 times out of 10, the reaction that you get from people that go into the shop because you're all bubbly is like, "I like going to your shop because I'm not always in a good mood. When I leave the shop, I'm in a better mood."
Yeah.
And that just goes to show you, as a businesswoman, you are doing what you need to be doing.
And I hope so,
shop.
because like today I had a long conversation with this one lady that came in, and she's just like, "I just had to come get another tea because I just love your spirit." And we sat there and we talked for about an hour and a half just about stuff, and then my Richard comes in and we're sitting there talking for another hour, and we're just talking about everything. And I mean, it's like, I'm here for it.
That's right.
I'm totally here for it, and I want to be able to help people that way.
One of the biggest things that and that's something that we haven't talked about either, is that we had the opportunity to get TR Nutrition. What our goal ultimately was, it was presented to us at the time, and it was a great opportunity. And we learned, and we're still learning in the business side of it. But it wasn't only about the product; it was about being genuine with people and spreading the positivity and having an opportunity to do that. Having an opportunity to talk to people, to be there for people, and to just talk to people in general.
Yeah.
We live in a world where we're always down looking at our little screen. And it's, if you go to a restaurant, go to the restaurant and just look around. 9 times out of 10, everybody is on their phone at the same table. So the conversations are going to the wayside. And so that's why when this presented itself, it was we were excited because we were like, one, I was excited. It's my hometown. I'm able to give back to the community. We're getting to a point where, financially we can start giving back the way we want to give back. There's a lot of things that we want to do, but we're constrained with so many things that have transpired with our company, with the company that oversees that we partner with, which is Herbalife. And we've had to make adjustments, and so we want to get to a point where we want to give back to the community, to the little league, to the schools, and things like that. So we're thankful that God gave us this opportunity that we can help others, not only in their health, but also in their personal lives, in talking and conversating and using our lives as an example. Listen, don't go do this. Listen, we've been there. We know what it is to almost get divorced. We know what it is to have your life blasted all over Facebook. That's not nothing that we've ever hidden. We know the problems or the things that we did wrong. My wife knows what she did wrong. I know what I did wrong. Those were things that were blasted. So nobody has to come and tell me, hey, you did this wrong, and you did this to Andy, and you did this to Tina. Listen, we lived it. We know it. And so, but learn from that.
Yeah.
Learn from that. I don't never want anybody to go through what we went through. We want your marriage to last. We want everything to be 100%, in your lives. We are so blessed to be at a point in our lives that our eyes are for our eyes only. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter what transpires. It don't matter who throws themselves at us. Our eyes are locked, and the love that we have for each other has grown, and it doesn't matter what anybody says to me or to my wife. I know without a shadow of a doubt that she loves me without my heart, and she knows that I love her without my heart. And so that goes without saying that's for life. That's forever until death does do us part. And so that people have got to understand that this is an opportunity that we have. Again, we're talking about reactions. Our reaction to this when we got this was like, man, this is great. We can't stay silent. And when I told my wife, we got to start saying stuff on live, and she kind of looked at me like, I don't know, like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, it's real life. It's real situations. It's real scenarios. It's things that are going to encourage people so that they can see, man, those people are real.
And at the end of the day, I refuse to let anybody or anything steal my joy. I refuse.
Yeah.
Because my joy, my happiness is important to me.
Reactions. We talking about reactions.
And I refuse. And that's one of the biggest ways that I've learned how to. Because anytime I heard something, or anytime, I wanted to go react and go right away and go confront that person or whatever it was. But that immediately made me realize that my joy was being stolen from me. And I don't want that. I live a happy life. I may not have all the riches in the world, but I have God, my husband, my family, my friends. My joy is important to me. My heart is important to me, and I'm going to protect it as much as I can. So try to steal my joy, but it ain't gonna work.
And again, that's the reaction. Some people do things to get a rise out of people, to get a reaction. How are you going to react to the hardest things in your life? How are you going to react to, because it's easy to react to the things that are easy in life. It's easy to react to those things because it's joyful, it's happiness, all those things, the goals accomplished, and the promotions, and all the things that are done, to make yourself feel better. All those things are great, you know what I mean? And it makes you feel, it makes you want to go and more and more and more,
Mm-hmm.
and it's easy to get involved into that, because that's what the that's normal for
Right.
us. But it's not as easy to react when all hell breaks loose in your life, when you lose a loved one in your life, when you have lost your job and there is no money coming in, when real life hits and you have to make a job change and you really don't want to, but you have to. What is your reaction to that? How will you react to it? Will you run to God or will you not run to God? Will you be mad at God because of things that have transpired in your life? Those are reaction. Those are real reactions that you have to put in check sometimes, and you have to decide, what am I going to do today to
Mm-hmm.
be better? What am I going to do today to have a better day, to be joyful, to be happy, to be excited? Listen, wherever I've gone, my goal has always been to spread positivity, and I've always done that. And about 3 weeks ago, I felt like I didn't want to do it anymore. That's what I felt. I felt like, you know what? I'm not going to waste my time trying to be positive anymore. Nobody reacts to it. That's what I was thinking. Like, nobody reacts to it. Nobody just, I don't care no more. And so I stopped doing it. And I was like, this feels wrong. I still need to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I let 5, 6, 7 days go by, but 7 or 8 days, and I finally got back into it. And I was like, man, I don't care about how people react anymore. I'm going to do it because I don't care if it's one person that's going to feel good because I told them hello, or one person is going to feel good by reading a quote or a scripture that I shared. Hey, that's what I'm going to do. What's up,
Mm-hmm.
Michael? What's up, Marcus? Uh, those are the things that are important to me. It's our reactions. How are we going to react to that? There's some people that I know that have lost loved ones. Your reaction was immediate, and how is it now? Is it the same that was when it transpired, when you lost a loved one? And even that and I said this, but grief can take you down a wrong path, and a crazy path where you're reacting in a way like, why am I reacting this way? But you have to understand and react to the fact that, okay, yes, it's grief. I've got to deal with it. I've got to get help. We've got to move forward. And those are the reactions that are real. Those are the
Mm-hmm.
reactions that are raw. Those are the
Mm-hmm.
reactions that we have to understand, to look at life and say, man, I'm going to be better today. Wasn't good yesterday, but today I'm going to be better.
Yeah,
That's just the bottom
I
line.
agree.
And I said that to say this about my at my job. I've been there going on two
Two
years, two
years.
years already, and I've been trying to get involved with just more motivating, inspiring, and I do it all the time. And every Friday I do this video, funny video to send out to all of my coworkers. And I didn't even do one today for the bigger picture. Anyway, recently there's another part of our organization that has opened up where you can send anything like a post. It's like our own Facebook. It's called Viva Engage, and since I'm tied to the organization, to our organization, that goes out globally to everybody that's employed with Upbring. And so I started doing that and sharing that on there, and I started getting reactions. And that's not what I was looking for, but I started getting reactions from different people, and they were thanking me. They're like, "Thank you for letting me look at life a little different. Thank you." And there was all these messages that were coming out and comments that were coming out. And I'm like, "Wow, that's great, man!" And that was motivating to me to say,
Mm-hmm.
you know, this is what's going to go on.
Keep going.
And I said that to say this past week, and I didn't tell my wife this. She's about to find out. This past, I think last week, they asked me to make a little write up on how long I've been at the job and what my goal is and what's my why and all this stuff. So this week, I'm now spotlighted on the Big Upbring website as a person, and so and on that
Okay.
spotlight, and you know me, I'm not about the
I
spotlight,
know.
but when I saw it today, another person a coworker that I work with, they're like, and I'll read it because I want to make sure I said the right thing. And when I read it, I was like, wow, that's crazy that he said it in that way, um, because it's something. I
I'm sorry, I'll keep yawning.
don't know why that's doing that. Anyway,
Anyways.
yeah, why did that happen like that? Okay,
See his reaction?
I have no. Oh, there it is. Oh. All right. Yeah.
Forget it.
Okay.
Forget it.
Anyway, I'll pull it up. He said, "It's good. It's. I'm glad the organization has the spotlight on your positive messaging, and so every Friday I send my inner group that message, but I also send it to the other committee that I belong to, and so they said that this week or today he sent it out, and I was like, wow, that's awesome. That I didn't even know it was like that. You know, I wasn't trying to look for that, but it made me understand the importance of just doing what you need to do, and people reacting to that. You know, not
Yeah.
everybody's going to jump on that, but I know at least one or two people could, and they're excited about it, and so that's great.
That's good.
That's what life's about. And
Good
so
job, babe.
now that spotlight is all over our web page, and I'm like, all
We
right,
need
they
to
were
go
like,
celebrate and eat dinner.
whatever, you're gonna make dinner.
No, I'm not.
You haven't cooked in a long time.
It's okay. I cooked the other day, bro. I
I
did.
want a home cooked meal tonight.
Okay, I'll cook for you too.
Anyway, but yeah, so our reactions is what we've been talking about. How we react to things, how we're gonna react to things, how we can we better ourselves in reacting on our reaction time. Man, appreciate it, Mike. Appreciate it, brother. And you know what? The bottom line is this: if we can encourage one person a day, that's great.
Then that's okay.
That's all right.
Then
We've
that's
encouraged
okay.
one person.
Mhm.
That's what's awesome, and that's why I think this is so important to have these conversations and to talk to people about our lives and to encourage people, because we want people to be encouraged on a daily basis. We want people to say, "Hey,
Can't
it's
stop
exciting.
yawning.
Let's go do what we got to do." And so, sorry, I had something in my throat. My God. I'm gonna give you
I'm
the
yawning over
opportunity.
here.
I'm gonna give you the opportunity because she's yawning. That
I'm
means
yawning.
her reaction to me talking is, "You're boring."
No, I'm tired. I'm old, y'all. I won't go memes. No.
We're wrapping up. My wife's gonna say her final words.
My final words for you this evening is don't listen to what other people have to say. Do not let them rob you of your joy. Stay focused on what it is that you want to do in your life and encourage somebody. A smile can encourage somebody. You know, hey, how you doing can encourage somebody. Um, Try not to react to things that come your way, because I'm pretty sure things have come your way, whether you're at work, at school, at wherever you are, walking down the street. Um, don't react to it. Just have a blessed day. You know, that's pretty much my final. Just don't let anybody steal your joy. Focus on what it is that you want to go, your goals that you want to set in your life, um, and work for that. Because nobody, at the end of the day, it's just you, ain't nobody else. So that's my final. That's my final words.
So tonight we talked about reactions. We talked about reacting to different things. We talked about reaction to good things, to bad things, to things that are emotional. There you go. There you go.
I can with you.
That's a reaction. There you go. And so we have to understand that in our lives we are going to react, but let's not overreact, right? Let's not overreact to certain things, but let's react in a way that's going to be positive. Let's react in a way that people are going to remember, man, I was talking madness to this guy. He didn't react crazy. He just said, have a great day. Sometimes the overreaction is just drama, but react to it in a positive way. Let's continue to be the change that we want to be in this world, and let's be awesome. Let's be great. Let's go out there every single day, and let's have an attitude of joy, of excitement, of just that people want to be around, so that we can continue to see a change in this world.
Mhm.
If you can motivate one person in your area, in your job, in your life, through social media, whatever. My
Yawn.
wife is yawning, so
I'm
I'm
sorry.
gonna shut it down.
No, it's not you. I'm just.
We want to thank y'all tonight for being with us tonight. Talking with Tina and Andy has been a blessing for us. We hope it's been a blessing to you. Do us a favor. If you haven't shared this video, I want you to share this video and make sure that you have a fantastic night. Have an awesome weekend. Sunday morning, get up, go to church. If you don't have a place of worship here in Three Rivers, Texas, come to Freedom Church at 11 a.m. I guarantee you, you will be blessed, not because I'm the pastor, but because God is there and the Holy Spirit reigns. So you guys be awesome, be great tonight. Have a fantastic day. You guys be great. You already know how we say it. What do we say?
And as always,
That's it.
put a smile on your face.
There she said. Put a smile on your face. You guys be great. You guys be awesome. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic night.
Bye, guys.